guys, it's Allie from Allie's Best, and today I have a confession for you, and that is that I had sushi while pregnant. Like a couple of times, like a lot of times, like many, many times. Yes, this is my work in progress filming area. Welcome. It's gonna keep changing. I'm in the middle of it. There'll be a video about it. Look out for it. But today I just want to talk a little bit about sushi and pregnancy and my thoughts on it. But before I share my thoughts, let's do the thing I always do, which is me saying, I am not a doctor. I am not a doctor. So this is not advice per se. This is just like the life of someone else on the internet. So you can like compare experiences, you know? So let's talk a little bit about it. If you are a person thinking about getting pregnant, has been pregnant, is pregnant, knows a pregnant person, you know that sushi is sort of like quickly on the no list of foods. And people talk about how you can't have sushi and all this stuff. And that just didn't work for me. And that's for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is I got pregnant for the first time in like August, September of 2016, but I did not have a baby until October of 2019. So that's like 3 whole years there where I was getting pregnant a lot of times, trying to get pregnant. A lot of times I had 3 miscarriages before having Bowie. So, you know, I had like essentially been constantly pregnant or trying to get pregnant. And during that time, you're trying to follow the rules of pregnancy. Like you're drinking a lot less or not at all. You are trying to eat healthy. You're trying to do all these things. And at some point, I think my second pregnancy, once my second pregnancy started not to go well, I was like, I can't follow all these rules when I don't even know for sure if my pregnancies are working out. Like it was kind of seeming like my second miscarriage was coming on, and I was like, I need to be a little bit less strict with myself because I have no idea how long I'm going to be trying to get pregnant. And maybe when I get pregnant, I can reassess. But as far as like the rules around eating, I just felt like they were giving me more anxiety than it was worth, because anxiety is also not good for the baby. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about, why is sushi bad? Unlike alcohol, which all doctors agree is bad for you or bad for the fetus, just because of what it is. It's just part and parcel of like putting somewhat of a poison into your body, is that it can seriously negatively affect the fetus. And like, there's a lot of discussion is like, we don't know how much really affects the fetus. Maybe here and there, it's not so bad. We do know that eventually, for sure, too much alcohol can lead to a problem for the baby. So I cut out alcohol. Sushi, on the other hand, the risk with sushi is a risk that anyone who eats sushi is taking. And that's the risk of bacteria or parasites on and in the sushi, because it's not cooked. So anyone who eats sushi, whether you're pregnant or any old person eating sushi, you are taking on the risk of getting affected by a bacteria or a parasite. That said, pregnant women have like a less powerful immune system, because their immune system like cuts back, is my understanding, so that it's not fighting the fetus. And because of that, their reaction to a bacteria or a parasite can be much worse, is my understanding, than someone who is just living their regular, everyday, non-pregnant life. So I knew that there was a risk, but I also knew that I was taking somewhat of a risk every time I ate sushi. I'm pregnant with Bowie. I know that there are these risks, but I'm also like dealing with the fact that I have a lot of anxiety already. I'm already on edge, completely worried about having a 4th miscarriage, very paranoid. Then I also, on top of that, have gestational diabetes. So I have to eat like healthy foods that are like agreeing with my system. I basically was like, I'm going to cope with the risks of eating sushi because there are so many, in my eyes, there were so many benefits to eating sushi. It was something that didn't upset my morning sickness, which was an issue that I had to deal with in the 3rd trimester. It was something that my body reacted to really well with the gestational diabetes. So I had to kind of like cope. But here's what I did to cope with the risks of sushi. It doesn't get rid of the risks, no. But it helps you feel like you're mitigating the risks, even if in the end you just take the risk anyway. You know what I mean? It's tricking yourself. Here's what I did. Okay, there's one like pretty safe way to eat sushi, and that's not all sushi is raw fish sushi. Like there are plenty of things you can order at a sushi place that are not raw fish. For example, vegetable sushi. I mean, if you're going to like a pretty well-established, yet not too fancy, like not all the way to the level where like the chef is cutting the fish and picking it for you kind of a thing. I don't remember what that's called, but like, a middle of the road good sushi place is going to have vegetable sushi and it's delicious. I would argue some of it is much more delicious than the fish options. Just me. So get something that is a vegetable roll, like that deep fried sweet potato or like pumpkin. I went to a place that used to have broccoli. There's this place in San Francisco. I want to call it Shizen, but I might be saying it wrong. That is all vegan sushi and it is bomb. And you don't have to worry. I mean, technically anything uncooked could have bacteria or parasites, I guess, but less likely with veggies. Anyway, vegan sushi is bomb. And there's also cooked sushi. You can get like a California roll, which I know is super basic, but a California roll usually is cooked crab. And if you're avoiding shellfish, then you just get the California roll with the fake fish, which is actually cooked whitefish. Or the fake crab, not the fake fish, but it's cooked whitefish. Yeah, and that's cooked and you can totally eat that. There are places that do like deep fried rolls. There are places that do smoked salmon rolls and you can eat smoked salmon is my understanding while you're pregnant. I mean, I did. Again, not a doctor. But like there are so many options as far as like which sushi you get to ensure that you're avoiding the completely raw fish. That said, if you want to go the completely raw fish route, good sushi places are supposed to freeze their fish in such a way that bacteria and parasites are killed. So if you are questioning whether or not you want to do sushi or you're sure you want to do sushi, make sure you're picking like a pretty good sushi place. Not gas station sushi. No one really, I mean, that's a bad choice. Have I made it? Yes, but don't while you're pregnant. Try to eat at a sushi place that is really reputable, that maybe is like a special treat for you, something that is, you know, nice-ish, nice on the nice end. The other thing I did make sure to do was when ordering fish sushi, whether cooked or raw, I avoided high mercury fishes. Fishes? No. Fish. You have to be conscious of the mercury content in your food all the time, but especially when you're pregnant. Do I know why? Let's hear it. Let's hear it from the back. No, because she's not a doctor. Well done. You're a great audience. No, I don't really know why, but I know you're supposed to. I made sure I was eating fish that wasn't high in mercury. So things you want to avoid are like shark, mackerel. Really big fish. Like the bigger the fish and the higher on the food chain, the more mercury they have in them is my understanding. Like the smaller the fish and the lower on the food chain they are, like closest to eating plants, the less mercury they have. Again, am I 100% sure? I don't know why I keep reminding you that I'm not a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. Maybe that's like some Jewish mom guilt. Like, do I feel like my mom wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer? No, she wanted me to be a teacher because I'm just like her, and who doesn't want that? Finally, to be completely honest, I also avoided shellfish. I don't know if this is some like latent kosher stuff for people who don't know what kosher is. Kosher mindset stuff, but it just felt safer not to eat shellfish. Not sure why, but I just avoided it. I have no facts to back that up. Just me, I avoided it. Moral of the story, as you, especially if you're someone who is pregnant or trying to get pregnant, it's all about finding a healthy balance. There are some things we know that you can't balance in a healthy way when you're pregnant. There's no such thing as a healthy balance. However, like sushi is considered like a healthy, vibrant, important food for you to have in pregnancy in places like Japan. And it's just because we as a culture have this like perspective on sushi and raw fish and raw foods that we are like really hyper conscious not to eat it. Obviously, are there risks? Yes, but like literally there are also risks with salads. Just keep it in mind. A little risk, but a risk nonetheless. Not to freak anyone out. Hope I didn't add to your anxiety. If I did, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You already have too much to worry about. You know, you're keeping you and your baby as healthy as you can by also managing your like stress and the amount that you're capable of obsessing over what you put in your body. I ate sushi, and if you did it, you're not alone. And it was great. I couldn't have gotten through it without it, but if you can get through without it, good on ya. And I hope you like this video. If you like motherhood, Jewish life, or anything that comes to my mind, like this video and subscribe below. The red subscribe button is here somewhere. Click it. Thank you. And I will see you guys later. Bye.